Okay, this is going to be video 4. Um, I still have the thermal switch drying on a couple of these boards, but I have one board that the thermal switch is reasonably dried so I can work with it. I took off the C-clamp. You can see how I have the C-clamp still on the other two boards. It's not a C-clamp, it's just a clamp. Alright, so I'll put these two aside, but I'm going to say something. Every board that I've found so far, no matter what the style was, always had this transformer and a tip 122 transistor, driving transistor. They also had an oscillator circuit. The oscillator circuit was always coupled to this transistor that I'm pointing to right now. It was coupled to the base lead. The base lead of this transistor, I'm going to face it towards you. As you look at that, to your left, the left side, as you would read a book, you would count that as number 1. That lead underneath that transistor, that one over on the side that I'm pointing, is number 1 lead. The middle one is number 2, and the third lead is the number 3. The number 1 lead on a tip 122 is a base. You don't have to know that. All you have to know is that that number 1 lead is connected to the oscillator through a cap, a capacitor. And that capacitor happens to be that one right here that I'm pointing to. But how would I know that? Well, I know that by looking at the bottom of the circuit board, and there's pin number 1. I'm pointing to pin number 1 right now. And if I follow the lead, I see it goes to a solder point, and I look over, and there it is. It's that cap. So here's one style of board. I've already loosened the cap, and I pulled it out. You won't be using that anymore, as I have already removed the mics from these two. So there's one style. Here is another style. And I did the same thing. I traced it back. I traced number 1, the lead number 1, and I traced it back to this cap right here. And I've already unsoldered it, and it comes out. Boom, boom. And every single style, no matter what the style was, they all had the same arrangement. And on this particular board, there's the cap, I think. I already took it out on that one. I already took it, or it fell out on that one. Let me see. Nope, there it is. I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. There's the cap. I went and looked at the transistor and followed it back, and I found the cap, and I pulled that one out. So there we go. I got all 3 boards, and I removed 3 capacitors. These are electrolytic, 1 microfarad electrolytics. And by the way, they've always been 1 microfarad electrolytics. This board now is ready. No holes have to be drilled. Nothing has to be. You remove the 1 microfarad cap. We're going to go back to those holes that it came out of. We removed the microphone. We're never going back to that part. The microphone's out of the circuit. And I'm going to turn this board over, and there's 4 places that you're concerned with. On this particular board, it's very, very easy. I want to know where the positive terminal is, the power positive, and it happens to be the one with the red wire on it. They all do not have red wires. And I want to know where the negative terminal is, and on this one it's extremely easy. It's the one where the black wire is. So now I know where the positive and negative is on this particular board. Put this board down and grab another board. This board doesn't have that red wire because the socket that you plug the 12-volt power supply in is mounted right on the board. Well, the back socket on the very, very back, I'm pointing to see that metal piece of, I'm pointing to that little piece of metal. That is the positive lead of this particular socket. for a 12 volt power supply. And if I follow it back, turn it over, that's where the 12 volt positive lead goes. Or that's positive 12 volts. And that transistor we've been working with, the emitter, wire number 3, 1, 2, 3, remember, that's one, I'm up my fingers on the one side. Go 1, 2, 3, that would be on this side, right there where I'm on that side. Turn it over, and that's always connected to ground. Always, 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 no exceptions. So I can look and I can see all the places that the ground land goes. That will be another point of interest. Okay, and it's the same on every single one. Did I look? Here's another version. And again, if I can get it right where my finger's tapping, that piece of metal that's on the 12 volt plug part is positive 12 volts. If I turn it over, I can see exactly where that comes through the board, and that's a positive 12 volt point. And it's the same deal. If you refer to this transistor, it's hard to see because it's not the same style, but if you go to pin number 3, which is the emitter, and check out where it goes, it always goes to ground. And all those points that it goes to, any one of those land points is ground. I'm pointing to ground right now. This one happens to have a jumper. Two important places to know. So there's 4 places to know. Where positive is, where negative is for power, and where the capacitor that we've removed, where that is. And you'll know where it is because you removed the capacitor. That will match up with 4 wires on this circuit board. Red for positive, black for negative, so that's the power for this little microboard. There's a white that goes to the switch, controlling switch, and a yellow that goes to the controlling switch. And this blue wire that I'm pulling on now, that goes to the base of this magic transistor we keep talking about. And the base on this one is pin 1. Here is a schematic. You can find this stuff on the web. And there's the complete circuit modification, including adding in the 85-degree thermal switch that we use to protect the transistor. This is not needed if you build a gating-only plasma ball. Gating-only plasma balls, we don't have any heat problems or anything, so we don't need that. And gating-only plasma balls are easier to build, and they're super. That is all I use here for myself. I didn't start out that way. I made a full-fledged plasma ball, but I ended up switching to gating plasma balls only for myself. But I can't do that for the rest of the world, so I made up a circuit that works to directly modulate the plasma or to run it through gating only. All right. These other 2 wires, the yellow and the white, these 2 wires here, they come out and they go to switches that are on the plasma balls. Do I have a gating one? Well, I don't have a gating plasma ball here, but I don't have the circuit board of this one. It goes to these switches here and plugs in accordance with this diagram. Now I have a write-up that helps with a little bit of verbal verbiage. If this video doesn't communicate, maybe the write-up will help a little bit too. Or together they'll make it clear to you. All right, enough for this section of video 4. I'll continue in a few minutes.